Good afternoon, and welcome to our presentation broadcasting company. The topic of the day is African American literature. Joining us today are some of the world's greatest African American scholars from around the world, including Sweetie Pie Thompson, Luke Brown, Victoria Grant, and Billy Bob Joe. Together, these specialists will give you a better understanding of what African American literature is all about. So hang on, it's going to be a crazy ride.
I read the book The Help by Catherine Stockett. This story takes place in Jackson, Mississippi in 1962 when black and whites were very segregated and separated. This book portrays a difficulty black women undergo when they are maids for white women. One white woman decides to write a book of compiled stories of black maids in the South. These ideas risk her life and bring danger to herself and her family. One of the main themes in this book is risking your life and putting your life on the line for doing what you know is right. This is seen when white and blacks work together and risk their lives for the civil rights movement.
Thank you, Sweetie Pie Thompson. And now for your fun fact of the day. Did you know that elephants are the only mammals that can jump? I bet you didn't.
I read the book The Bluest by Toni Morrison, who won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1993. The Bluest was set in the 1940s in Ohio and was used to show the absurdity of what was seen as attractive in this time. Nicola, the main character, who was part of a poor black family, hated all whites because they were seen as beautiful rather than her, and her obsession to be seen as beautiful eventually led to her death. Morrison herself is very similar to Nicola because she grew up in a poor black family and was constantly harassed because she was seen as ugly. Morrison was awarded the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in 1988 for her novels. Morrison's childhood is what inspired her to write The Bluest Eye. Nicola's jealousy towards the white attractive girls led her to try to change her appearance to fit in, but it failed and she was still seen as inferior. I think that Morrison made Nicola fail in order to express her belief that blacks shouldn't need to change in order to be equal to whites, but that they should be equal by birthright. The theme of pride is also common in African American literature because the authors want to give the discriminated blacks the belief that they should have self-confidence and be proud of who they are rather than dwelling on what they aren't.
Thank you, Luke Brown. Here's another fun fact. Were you aware that in your lifetime you'll walk around the equator the equivalent of 5 times? That you weren't.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number.
Today I will be talking about A Desperate Road to Freedom, a journal by Julia May Jackson written in the 1860s. Throughout the novel, Julia May discusses the struggles of running from the law enforcement and keeping her own identity. She loses her brother to the Civil War. Her mother almost dies many times. Conductors risk their lives daily for her, and she doesn't even know where she stands. All she knows is she has to keep running. Throughout the novel, Julia May struggles a lot with finding her own identity and keeping it and standing strong with it, even when everything around her wants to strip it away and says, she's just a black girl, she's just a runaway slave, she's nothing. She wants to stand strong that she is Julia May. She has education, and she loves that. At one point in the novel, she says, no matter what they call me, I know who I am.
Here's another fun fact. Did you know that there are 178 sesame seeds on the average McDonald's cheeseburger? I bet you didn't. Hi, my name is Billy Bob Joe. I'm from Louisiana. I read the book, A Gathering of Old Men. It's a really dumb title, but I read it. Basically, this black guy kills this other black guy. And then this white girl says she done it. But I don't know why she said that, because then there's all this cultural controversy, then they can't figure it out, and then all these other black guys come up with their shotgun saying they killed the black guy because they don't want to fight controversial racial stuff. So then the police can't figure out what happened. And then they gotta go to a Cajun police officer, you know, one of those mulatto mixes, but then they can't even figure out. Eventually they figure out it's Charlie, another black guy who killed him. Then you know what happens with Charlie? He gets killed. Then the guy who killed Charlie gets killed for killing Charlie. I don't even know what to say. Honestly, it was a good book, but a lot of people died and it kind of hurt my pacifist side. In regards to themes of this book, I would say one of the main themes is sticking to your culture and who you are and really embracing that. Throughout the book, there was a man who was very dark-skinned, and he embraced it. He said, "I'm not like you team light-skinned people. I am dark, I am fully African," and I appreciated that. I appreciate that he's willing to stand up for what he believes in and just truly embrace that.
And for your final fun fact of the day, ladies and gentlemen, did you know that police dogs are trained in the languages of German and Hungarian? So the next time that police dog comes sniffing through the zone at your locker, you know what to do. So, as is evident, there are many themes in African American literature. However, perhaps the greatest are sticking to one's individuality, jealousy, pride, and holding strong to one's cultural roots, even though the worst may be at stake. Our Presentation Broadcasting Company, giving you the perspective you need.
Here's the bibliography for those of you who think you need a bibliography. I personally don't, but since the teacher thinks we do, this is it.